Hey guys, welcome back. And this video we're gonna be fixing a few things here and moving a few things about. Here on the sides, we can have some vents. I do like this empty space here, so I don't want to overdo it. So I'm thinking whether maybe here, or maybe I should just leave it alone. But we could use some vents here, So, something here that's gonna be Shift D. Let's grab this panel here and let's add a solidification. So let's add the solidification. And let's move this solidification above the bevel, but below the bowl. In fact, we don't need this bowl. We can turn it off and, solidify it outside, hold Shift a little bit, not too much. And we don't really need it to be that, that long. Also, we probably can drop it down a bit. So let's go here and let's remove, in fact, GG, and let's move it here. And we can remove this line here, this edge here. So X and delete verts. There you go. That's gonna work perfectly, I think. Now we can kind of work with this. This is a little bit too tall, so GG and drop it down a bit. Or maybe do something like this. Shift Control B. This is interesting. And then grab these two and Shift Control B and introduce kind of like a curve here in the front. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. And this could be mirrored, and also it doesn't have to go entire length. So GG, and could just kind of end here like that and be mirrored to the other side. So mirror PG, and in here we could have some some other part again. I'm gonna think about it later. And the side here could be slightly cut, so we can grab this edge here and Shift D and then P selection. So we got that. We can disable solidification here, bevel. We can keep weighted normal, so let's just select everything and let's bring it outside here. So GX, move it in here, and then we're going to scale it down and move it somewhere here, and grab this one and E and extrude it like that. Okay, and let's go to local view, connect them, so F, and then face E, and let's just extrude it, select everything, Alt N, and recalculate outside. There we got that, and we can remove the weighted normals and right click and shade smooth and auto smooth, right? Cool. So now we can grab that. We can in fact grab this edge and Control B that too, and you can see that there's some problems. So 3 to clean it one more time. There we go. I think 4 is enough, and then GX and move it in here. Alright, so with this now, what we can do is let's just extrude it outside on X-axis and move it in, and select this one and Control//. Okay, that's important. We can move it to cutters, so cutters, and we here need to collapse this and move the bowl above bevel, and here we need to collapse this and move the bowl above bevel. PG. Now I'm thinking that the bowl might actually go above this one as well. Probably gonna be better. So there you go. Yeah, it's better. And this could be kind of like a vent here on the side, so we could create a mesh on the cube and scale it down, and really scale it down and move it here on this axis and rotate it and move it here and scale it even more, so SZZ, and move it sideways, and then Control A, apply rotation. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab an array and change it to Z, so 0 and Z going down, right? And then that many, right? and we're going to offset that on we're going to offset this on the y-axis a little bit, so something like this, right? Let's go with 45. That's too much. I think 43 will do. There we go. And we're gonna have to, you know, rotate it a bit like this. It's a bit disorienting, I know, but what are you gonna do? Right click, shade smooth, and auto smooth, select this one and control minus. And then grab this one and move this modifier above solidification, and then grab this one and M cutters. Now we need to fix this, so we need to grab this element here, and what we need to do is run a knife here, okay, like this. So press C and run a knife here, and run a knife here, all the way, in fact, to here, and then space, and this should work. This bevel here is insane, so we need to make it smaller. There you go, that's better. And let's see how we're looking. Yeah, that looks really cool. I really like that. So this is just a bit of a machinery, you know. You could even offset this either inside, you know, or outside a little bit. You know, could just add a little bit of a highlight here in the front, create more detail. So, and then we need to mirror the gain across, because you see we moved it in here, but in here it collapsed. So we need to grab a mirror. So select this one and collapse the stack, and I go to mirror and move it across this shape. There we go. Now this one here, we're gonna apply the boolean. So let's apply the boolean. Click here, clear the data, and then apply the boolean. Let's apply the solidification, and mirror has to be above weighted normals. And also something weird is happening here. Let's just grab this cut here and dissolve edges. There we go. Grab this one and just kind of chamfer this. It's gonna look a little bit better. And grab that, okay, and extrude it here. So it kind of connects here in the bottom. And I think it's gonna look a little bit better. We can create some kind of a, you know, device here in the bottom. This bevel here got lost in translation. The edge doesn't catch, which means probably we're gonna have to change it to either a weight, or we're going to change the auto smooth. You know, just there we go. 29 degrees will do it. Sometimes the auto smooth needs a bit, but if you overdo it, you're gonna start catching these bevels. Okay, so be careful. Look, if I go really low, right? See what I mean? So be very careful. So 29 is fine. Here the same thing. See that bevel needs to be at 29. Boom, fixed. Right, and these still not catching. Okay, these still not catching. So let me just grab that. Let me just collapse it even more. There we go. Now it's catching this, you see. So now technically, what would be better than weighted normals? Probably hard normal is gonna be better here. So let's try that. Let's go to shading and hard normal, see? And it works perfectly. But the problem is now this, you know, it's just too steep. You see, if I increase the bevel here, it disappears from here. So in this situation, the best way forward would be to simply go with bevel weight. So I'll switch it back to 30, right? Just turned off the hard normals for a second. Select everything except, let me see that. Let's just select this edge here. And this edge, we don't need them, so dissolve them, okay? And we don't need these, so dissolve them. And then we're going to select these edges, right? These edges and this edge. And we're going to mark them. So bevel weight 1, enter, and change here to weight, and this will fix all our problems. Then you collapse the bevel, and at the end you're going to add weighted normals. Boom. And this didn't fix these problems because we still need to run apply the boolean, right? And then after you apply the boolean, you need to run the the bevel. But let's fix these edges here. They're not very good for running bulls, especially when the bevel gonna run through it. Let's dissolve that. That's better. Shading was just absolute dog shit over there. Let's select this one with Control, Shift, Control here. Right click, bevel weight 1, sorted. Okay, and you need the same thing in the bottom. So select two faces, go to edge mode, right click, bevel weight 1, sorted. Okay, and this will work perfectly. Okay, so sometimes you need to go bevel weight because regular bevel will simply not catch all the angles, and you're gonna be careful with that. Okay, so let me just save this as Blender 32, 33, and save it, and let's run a power save on top of it. Good. Okay, so we're good here. Perfect. The front looks really awesome. I really like it. It's very aggressive, but at the same time kind of bug-like. It's really cool. I'm starting to really like this model. I decided that maybe 2 divisions is too many. It's either we need to get rid of this and combine it into one, this bit, okay, and then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, or combine these two together, which probably gonna be a better idea. Then the problem is that if we do that, we're gonna lose these cuts here, which is something I don't want to do. So maybe it's better combining these two. When we do that, we're gonna have to combine these two because these two edges overlapping, that doesn't look really good. So let me start combining these first, okay? So the way to do this is you simply Control J them, right? Then you go to edge mode, select this edge and X, dissolve edges, and then press 3 to clean the data. Magic, you're done. See what I mean? So Machine Tools is very helpful for this. You see that looks a bit better because you have a lot of calmness here. And it's good because we're gonna have a gun in the front, so we don't want much, much stuff happening in here. We can have some cuts and whatnot later on, but I'm also considering combining these two. Okay, it's probably gonna look a bit better. So, because this cut doesn't really make any bloody sense here. So, let's combine them. Control J. It's gonna be a bit more complicated. Let's select all these edges here, and and dissolve edges and 3 to clean it, and it should be fine. And if it isn't, we're gonna have to clean it manually. So let's clean these edges here, select them with Alt and boom, and then we don't really need these edges, guys. You can dissolve them and fixed. So there you go. Now we're gonna be designing the gun because it's the time, okay, to design the gun. So cube. We need a cube, and we're gonna design a gun that's gonna be a double gun. So we're gonna move this cube somewhere here and SX and scale it a bit, and drop it down, maybe a little bit bigger and a bit shorter, and maybe we're gonna move this a little bit here, so kind of fatter, and then we're gonna extrude it here. Then grab this edge, Control B and split it like this. Grab this face here and GZ and move it like that, okay? And then I think we're going to narrow it down a bit like this, and grab these and GZ and move them up a bit. And this one also is a little bit too skinny, so something like this probably gonna work best, if I may say so. Now this one could be a bit wider, so we could extrude it here like this. And we could apply scale, and we could run a chamfer here, and then we could run a bevel here. The only problem is that with this arrangement here, there's no way we can run a bevel, so this might not be the best idea. Let me see that. Well, we could run a loop here like this, and we could grab these and simply delete them. Then run a face here with F. Combine these faces. Combine these faces, right? Remove this edge, this one. Dissolve this edge so it's clean. Same here, combine these faces. F, so it's clean. Good. Combine these faces. Peachy. Let's press 3 to clean it. They didn't clean this thing at the back, so dissolve it. There we go. Let's now grab that and chamfer it, and then alt click, shift alt click, and let me think here. Let's do it later. Let's bevel this and see how we're looking. We're looking good. So shade smooth and auto smooth. And here we're going to grab this. In fact, we're gonna drop a knife here. So press C with a knife, A, click space to cut through, and we're gonna grab this one and extrude it up a little bit, and grab this and GG, and press 3 to clean it. A moment, so I'm GG. Ooh, really no. G, Y, and move it in. There we go. Something like this, and grab these two and F, and grab this one here. This should be one face, and GX, make it a little bit more narrow. Right. Okay, cool. Dissolve this. Let's just chamfer this one, right? And, you know, bevel these two. Like that, that's good. And let's create another loop here. So K and then C, cut it through an A, click and space. And then we're going to move this one a little bit this way. So G, E, so G, G, E, F, and flip it. You see this square here in the bottom? G, G, look, E, F, and you can see the square dancing left and right. It aligns either to this edge or to this edge. So I want to align to this edge because now it's straight. So move it here. Let's detach it. So what I want to do now is detach this thing. K and A, and run it in here. Click and space. It's gonna go across. Cool. Let's combine these two with J. Awesome. Now we can grab this and detach it. So select all these elements here. Press P and selection. And grab this one and close it up. So press 1 and close this one too. So F, and then we can run bevels here. So bevel, and then here bevel. Whoa, and then here bevel. And then here and here. Scale it in a bit like this so it fits in, and move it a bit here. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is grab this edge here and bevel it a little bit like this. Awesome. Then we're going to move this close to this edge here, to this Y line. And you see in cursor here, Shift S and origin to cursor. It's gonna drop in here, it's gonna be in the middle, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a mirror. Mirror. And it's gonna bump, you know, it's gonna mirror this across origin point, which is here, right, on this Y-axis. Same here, so Control C and copy modifiers, boom, and Bob's your uncle. And then we can, you know, adjust it. So we can, for example, move this a little bit here and Shift S, origin to cursor, it's gonna be tighter. And I think that is pretty cool. These guns may be a little bit too long, so let's grab it, GG, and move it in, yeah. Select this one and, you know, Shift D, P, selection. Let's make it a bit bigger, so Shift S. Let's apply this mirror. Okay, and scale this a little bit like that, and then we're going to apply a solidification outside like that. Cool. So now here I want to create a cut like that, so grab a cube, move it in here, create a chamfer like this, right click shade smooth and auto smooth, select this one, control minus. Cool. Now we can move this and see where we want it. I want it somewhere here. That's good. Cutter, I like that. Here we're going to grab that and insert it a little bit, move it outside, chamfer it, adjust a bit, and insert it, and boom. So we got these cannons. Awesome. Here we're gonna have some vents, so another cube, I'll move it in here, scale it, SY, scale it some more, move it in here, here, and SY, sorry, and S and G, and Control A, scale, Control Alt click here, Control B, 4 segments, and right click shade smooth and auto smooth, and then go to modifiers and array, and we're gonna array this on y-axis this way. Okay, and we could actually rotate it a little bit. Okay, and then apply rotation, so Control A, apply rotation, boom, and it's gonna update automatically. So like that, which is kind of cool. And we're just gonna increase it. Whoa, that's too many. That many will do, I think. And Control minus. There you go, Control minus, and that's peachy. And we need to mirror this across. Let's drop an empty plain axis and move it in here. And we're going to add a mirror and mirror this across this empty. Boom. And move it to cutters. You see that? Maybe something like this would be cool. Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming out in here. That's not good. Wait a minute, what happened here? Why this one is shorter? That's bizarre. Let's select that one and dissolve vertices. And select this one and add a mirror. Across this empty. There we go. That's better. Select that and cutters. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. We could create a curve here, so or we could do this with, yeah, curve is fine. So let's go to curve and create Bezier curve will do, I think. Move it in here, rotate it, and now we need to design a cable with it. So drop it in here, and drop it in here, make it shorter. make it a bit longer. Something like that. And then go to objects and convert to curve, and then let's go here and change depth holding shift. And that's pretty cool. Okay, and then we can mirror this. So across. Yeah, cool. In fact, this could be slightly moved this way, like that. I'm not quite crazy about this shape here. I know how to fix this. Let's grab a cube. Grab a cube here, SX, scale it, and move it to the middle here, and make it larger, and then scale it down. Move it somewhere here, and GY and GG and drop it down. Drop it up here, move it somewhere here, grab that, and G and move it up. In fact, we could align these to these. So select these two with shift, this one, go to side view, Alt A, and bottom or top. You're gonna perfectly align these. Or you could do this as Z0, same thing, right? And grab this edge and, you know, chamfer it like this. And how we looking? It looks a little bit better, maybe. I don't like this cable here, that doesn't fit. I'm gonna remove that. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I wanna add a cube, scale it, and move it somewhere here, and create another element here on this side. GZ, scale it down. Here on the bottom, and drop it inside here, extrude it, and GG, like that. Just gonna make this gun look a bit more powerful, I think. This is a bit too tall, so drop it down. And I think this is gonna be interesting. Maybe that is cool. Actually, that is interesting. Create something like this and then run this here. So apply scale and run the bevel here on top. And then symmetrize it. In fact, on the bottom, actually the bottom could be straight or could be chamfered like this, you know. Could be chamfered. And then this one could be narrower. And maybe somewhere here on the bottom, like that. I think that would make more sense. And then this one could be beveled here too. So bevel this. And this could be beveled too, so kind of like this. Right click, shade smooth, and then auto smooth, right? Oh yeah, that's much better, I think. Now I wonder if this shouldn't be actually smaller and maybe duplicate it like that. That's interesting. We can create our own mirrors here, no problem. So add a mirror and copy across is empty. Then select these two, Control C, copy modifiers, boom. Yeah, that looks like a solid gun, you know. Let's save this. I like that. In fact, what we could do is run a chamfer here or a bevel. Yeah, a bevel would be good, something like that. That's pretty cool. All right, so now we can add another empty and bring it in here and make it big. Okay, and then literally select everything except this empty, and then select the empty, Control P and transform. So this will all move with an empty except for the modifiers, you see. So we need to apply the cutters, assign the cutters. So Shift 2 and grab this cutter and this, and Control P and keep transform. Here, Control P and keep transform. Okay, Shift 2. So now we can scale this, move this, whatever you want. We're gonna move it under here. Of course, the gun is too big, and it can be bigger than the goddamn ship. We're going to rotate it a little bit like this, right? And let's just grab these rotors for a second and move them to rotors. Okay, and just collapse these instances here, the collections one more time. There you go, and turn them off. So rotors, turn them off, and rotors. There we go. Now you can see, oh, this one is a rotor too, and this one too. There we go. Now we need to design this kind of angle here. I think this will do. Move it somewhere here, and this could be still too big, although maybe it's okay. And then we need some kind of a cylinder, RY90, and move it in here, scale it some more, SX. This could be actually not enough. 32, that's I think it's enough. Okay, so move it in here and scale it, and SX, scale it like that, and make it smaller and wider. There we go. Shade smooth and auto smooth. Control A, apply scale. Grab this one and chamfer. Let's just insert this and extrude it, scale it. Go to edge mode, select it with Alt, Control B, chamfer it a little bit, and we're going to select everything and mesh symmetrize on Z-axis because we rotated this. Okay, so the Z-axis is this way. It's a bit confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Cool, now let's grab this one and select this edge in the middle and dissolve it. Select that, Shift D, P and selection, and let's just increase the size of this one. So just Shift X to, so S Shift X to scale it a bit on the X-axis. It's on every single axis except X, and then we're gonna go to modifiers, solidify. We're gonna solidify it inside a bit. There we go. And then we're going to apply this at a bevel, 3 segments, and scale it down and apply way to normal. I'm gonna grab this bit in the middle, Shift D, P, selection, grab it, go to local, select everything, I again to do that, Control I to invert selection, X, and delete faces. Go to face mode, select everything, E, cancel it with right mouse button, Alt S, scale it in, so move your mouse up, and then make sure the individual origins, right, and scale it down like that. And then we're going to change bevel to 1 segment because we don't need more than that, and just scale the bevel in. Cool, we got this. That is peachy. And we need to scale this thing in now because it's a little bit too big, so you know, this will do. So we got that, and here we're probably gonna scale it in inside chamfer this thing. So we got that going on, and this needs to be mounted. So this could be mounted inside of this ship somehow. So what we could do is, you know, create an opening here. So grab an edge here and drop one here. And let me see this shell. Yeah, let's create actually there is an edge here already. Let's add another one here. Then let's select the front bit here. Select that and let's insert it a little bit, okay? So one more time, and then delete faces. What we get this, which is interesting. Let's grab a loop here, Control B that to split it. Select these 4 and GG, and that will not work. GG, GG, right? And then GG and GG. We get this, which is cool. We probably need to get rid of this, so let's just cut it here like that. And then, you know, we need to delete these, so remove edges, and I think it's gonna be fine. This could be, you know, collapsed here like this. Let me see that. What's happening here? Let me just mirror this, or let me just mirror this to the other side. So mesh, symmetrize, and we're gonna symmetrize it on. Select everything. Mesh, symmetrize. Yeah, there you go. That will work. Perfect. So that's symmetrized. And we will need some kind of an opening here. So we could grab a mesh, another cylinder. In fact, we could borrow this cylinder structure. So borrow that. Shift D, P, selection. This one. Close it here. So F and F, and then let's make it larger. And notice white and GZ, and actually make it S, Shift X, and move it in here and create an opening. So click this one, right click, shade smooth, and auto smooth, and select this one and Control minus. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's grab that, and I'm going to Shift D this and grab it to backup, because in case I want to change my mind, I'm gonna have a, you know, a backup. So backup and turn it off in viewport and render. Okay, that's important. Let's grab that and let's see. Let's apply this, and before we do that, let's just apply some loops here. And let's go here to Bool Tools and let's apply this. That's peachy, and we can, you know, lift this gun up a bit. So let's see if we can actually lift this gun up a bit. Let's apply these to this empty. So Control P, keep transform, and I think I can move everything now. I can. So let's grab that and Shift and move it to colors. Perfect. And let's then just move this one in here, so it kind of fits up here. Now this part here gonna have to be cut. So Shift G, immediate children, which would select all the children. Shift click this empty, go to local. Now what we need to do is we need to create a cutout for this, okay? So one more time, we're going to Shift D this and scale this, okay, up a bit. And we're going to, let's go to local twice. We need to fix this, okay? So first of all, grab this, grab one of this with Shift and Alt A. Why my Alt A is not working? It's not working in lock. Alt A and right. Okay, so it's gonna level up here. Click here, Control plus to select all these. Press F, Control plus and F. Okay, and then what you want to do is select everything, mesh, symmetrize, and we're gonna symmetrize from plus to minus. Oh, sorry, on Z axis. Z plus to minus Z. Okay, cool. And then we're going to scale it a bit like that. Awesome. And Control A, apply scale. Select this one and Control minus. And this is pretty cool. Pretty cool. This one has to be mirrored. Let's mirror that on. In fact, we could just symmetrize this. Select everything, mesh, symmetrize. There we go. Peachy. What is going on with this mesh here? It's 3 to clean it. What the hell is this? Wait. This mirror needs to go. Jesus, there you go. Okay, cool. So that's that. And you know, this is a little bit too thick, I think. It's probably a little bit too thick, so we can narrow it down a bit. So SX and narrow it down a bit. Yeah, something like that. And then grab this one and move it a little bit higher. Maybe somewhere here. And what we can do is we should probably narrow it down even more. Let's recall the cutter here, Shift 2, grab this cutter, this wheel, SX and scale it down a bit, just a bit too wide. Something like this will do. S, Shift X and scale it out without scale it in, you know, too much. There we go, that's good. Additional mount here, so we could grab this situation here, select the top and simply extrude it up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's clipping a bit here on the front. So now Shift 2, this piece here in the middle, the main one, where is it? The one that is cut? Not this one, this one. Yeah, we don't need a subdivision here. I think it was added by mistake because it's, you know, it's smooth enough, so it's fine. We can change this to 25 here. Not weighted normal, bevel to 25 degrees. It's gonna catch it. Maybe 27 is gonna do it. Yes, 28. 29. 29 is gonna do it too. So 30 is just not good enough, but that's perfect. That's all we need. And so, you know, we could just move this cannon a little bit to the back. So I'll grab this cannon and GY and move it to the back. So it kind of, you know, it's mounted here like that. We can grab this one and extrude it back here and GG and move it up like this, you know, and it's going to be really interesting here. And we can do the same thing here, so, you know, extrude it forward a little bit and GG and boom. That's really cool. I really like it. Let's add the rotors and see how we're looking. That is a big gun. That is a really big gun. No, wait a minute. We missing some stuff here. Alt H. Oh, there we go. So let me see then. Let me just turn off this all the junk here. Press Ctrl Alt Space to go full screen. And now we can, you know, let me just save this before something bad happens. Let me just see that from a front view. Oh yeah, that looks good. This gun is misaligned. So hang on. Let me bring this back. This needs to go to the middle. So Shift S to origin and Shift S to cursor. There we go. And then we're gonna drop it down. It's gonna be in the middle. There we go. So GY and GZ and then RX and rotate it, and then GZ and drop it down, and GY and move it in. Okay, and that's in the middle, right? And then a bit higher, GZ and move it higher. There we go. That looks pretty badass in my opinion. Okay, let's try it again. Turn it off. Turn off this gizmo. Shift Alt, Control Alt Space, and we can, you know, look at the whole thing. It looks really cool. So this one here, let me see that. Let me just turn on the visibility here. This one here could be a little bit higher. Either this or this one could be, you know, extended here like this. Let me see that. Oh, this would work. And then we could have this strip here on the top. So grab this bit here and let's just Shift D. Let's go to local mode. Oh, we can't. P and selection, right? And then grab this bit and add a solidify modifier. Here, let me see that. Solidify on top of the stack. And let's just scale this out like that. That's good. Let's grab these, the YY. Move them in here. Yep, that will do. And these ones too, GZZ, and move them up. And this will do. Yeah, now you're talking. Oh yeah. So let's just apply this solidify. Okay, and I'm going to chamfer this and, you know, chamfer this. All right. Because reasons. So that is proper gun, and this needs to be mirrored to the other side. So select everything, mesh, symmetrize, boom. Okay, I like that, but it's interesting. We could make this a little bit smaller, you know, just a tiny bit smaller. GY and move it in here a bit. There we go. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's save this. Next one, we're just gonna be running some checks and maybe adding some additional, you know, bits here and there. But basically, the model is finished. I think it looks bloody amazing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.